What's going on, my beat builders? This is part two, numbers 1 through 10 of my top theme songs. Now, I had to re record this whole video again. Why? Because I used some videos, and even though it didn't have any audio, they still blocked it. It is what it is. That's how YouTube is. Well, let's get it going. Coming in at my number 10 pick of a theme. Let's see if you can guess it. Oh, oh, ah. This is, you got it? All That. Now, I love this show as a kid. Again, I'm a product of the 90s, so I love this show. This was made by, rapped and sang by TLC, and it just encapsulated the show. Such a playful attitude. All That was like a mini SNL. If you never saw the show, it was just for kids. And then Kenan and Kel, one of the two big stars from there. Kenan actually went on to, at the time of the video, he still works at Saturday Night Live, so he still has that comedy background in him. That's number 10, All That. Coming in at number 9, You Can Do What You Wanna Do, In Living Color. Now this, oh man, this was such a great show that set the tone for a change in who was in comedy. We hadn't seen nothing like this with an mostly all black cast with comedy. And this theme show was so great. It was made by Heavy D and the Boys. And an interesting fact about the show, the Super Bowl never had performances, but In Living Color had beat them one year on viewership. So the year after, the Super Bowl got one of the biggest entertainers, Michael Jackson. And it just been different ever since. And that's why they started halftime shows, because it used to be a point where there was never a halftime show. But this show, this theme song is real great because, one, it's just a rapping theme song. So that gives you inspired rappers, artists, and producers know how that you can get placements in the theme song and you don't necessarily have to be a composer. Coming in at number 8, there's no words to this song, so I can't give you a little clue, but it's Mad Men. Now, this was a real great drama show, and the song that got picked, the track is called A Beautiful Mind, and it's made by producer RJD2. And what's interesting about this, it's a completely instrumental song. This song actually existed on the album before this show came out. Again, that's more inspiration to show you don't necessarily have to be a rapper if you make great instrumentals. What I really like about this instrumental, it's a different type of instrumental. It's not completely out there, but growing up in my neighborhood, if you consider what black people listen to, quote unquote, this wouldn't be necessarily something black people listen to, even though it has all the elements of hip hop, scratching, and stuff like that. So I really like this track. Coming in at number 8. Number 7, we got Tubular Bells. Now, this was the theme of The Exorcist. Pretty scary movie. And this is another instrumental. And what I like about this is a crazy fact. This song was a part of the soundtrack called Pure Moods. I got a tape with this song on there, and the Pure Moods soundtrack changed my life. I don't know if you remember, but there used to be commercials when you like buy a tape for like 10 cents or something. But this used to always show Pure Moods. And a friend got this for one of my birthdays when I was young, and I loved all the music on it. And to tell you a little story, so when I was in college, I was an RA. And this black woman, I asked her, what kind of music she's into. And she said she was too embarrassed to tell me. And she don't know me, but I'm open to all kinds of music. So we talk. She finally plays the music, and my eyes just light up. And I'm like, I'll be right back. I went downstairs to my dorm room, got the Pure Moods tape, played her some stuff, Tubular Bells, Enya, and her eyes just lit up. She could not believe another black person listened to, quote unquote, this type of music. So that's one thing that I like about this theme song. It's just so different than traditional other theme songs. It's just a great, mesmerizing, scary mood type of theme song that puts you in the mood to get ready to get scared. Now we're getting closer to the top five. So these songs were kind of hard to rank. Let's see if you can guess the song. I'll give you a few clues. It's a live action cartoon. It came on Saturdays around the 90s. Here's two words from it. Go, go. You better guessed it. That Go Go Power Rangers. Man, I used to love this show and waking up every single Saturday to watching this show. The Green Ranger was my favorite Ranger when he came on the show. That little flute, I definitely had that flute. Oh man, I used to love playing that flute. But this theme song, I didn't really appreciate until I got older. You listen to the guitars, the riff, it's just so powerful. You think, wow, to be influenced like that as a kid with this heavy rock metal that I didn't even realize at the time it was rock. I was just like, I just love the theme song. So that's why I'm placing this at 6. It was just so much a part of my childhood that I just cannot forget that Go Go Power Rangers theme song. Now we're at the top 5. And the number 5 pick is another cartoon. It's The Simpsons. Dun, 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 dun. Great show, great theme song. What I like about this theme song, it was like witty, funny, had a whole bunch of like odd noises in it, boops and bobs, and it was produced or composed by the composer Danny Elfman. And I heard a podcast of his a long time ago, him talking, and he used to be in a band. His band was called what? Ogo Bongo. I can't even really say it, but he started as just a musician. He wasn't a composer, and according to the podcast, he wasn't trying to be a composer. Tim Burton, who does a lot of scary movies, a famous one he's famous for is for Beetlejuice, reached out to him because he liked his music and said, hey, can you compose this Beetlejuice soundtrack for me? So it worked out perfectly. And if you think about The Simpsons and you think about Tim Burton and Danny Elfman, you think about that playability and you see why it makes so much sense. So one lesson I got from this in that podcast was don't be afraid to expand beyond your limits. You might be a beat maker and you're just used to making loops, right? You're dropping things in and out. But that's not to say you can't be a composer and learn how to use ebb and flows to make music or learn about music theory. You don't necessarily have to be deep into music theory and learn how to read sheet music. I mean, when you get to that stage, if you're working with musicians, with violins and orchestras, yeah, you need to know how to make sheet music because they need to read the sheet music. But if we just go over this guy, Danny, what he's done compose, like look at this. A theme for Pee-wee's Big Adventures, Beetlejuice, the first Batman, which was amazing, Edward Scissorhands, Wednesday, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Doctor Strange, Men in Black, 50 Shades of Grey, and some TV series like Desperate Housewives, and of course, The Simpsons. And you can see he has 4 Oscar nods, 3 Emmy Awards, and a Grammy, and many other awards. So that's pretty amazing from a guy who didn't even want to be a composer. So that's The Simpsons coming in at a strong number 5. We got at number 4. Let's see if you can guess it from just one word. One word, the starting of the song. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. We got the Fresh Prince. Again, I'm biased. The 90s was my era that I loved, but this was a great theme song. This is what I think about when I think about a theme because it encapsulated the whole journey of Fresh Prince and the story in a short time frame. You understood his whole history of why he got kicked out, the story behind it, and going to see and live with his Uncle Phil. It's just crazy how well this song was made. And another caveat I really like about this is because him and his boy, DJ Jazzy Jeff, made the track. So not only is he getting paid for acting in the show, not only is he getting paid for writing the lyrics to the theme song, but he performed them as well. So he probably got a little bit of higher payment, one, because it's a theme song and it was on the major network. But it's just a crazy journey to see the chance that Quincy Jones took on this kid to be like, he was just a rapper, entertainer, and he saw something in him to become an actor. Because it's not easy to go from rapping to acting. It's two totally different skills, but Will Smith proved that he can do it, and he's in history, man. That's why I think this theme song is so great. And the show is in syndication, so it's just making crazy royalties right now. Number 3, the top 3. And what really set this theme apart and what made me think about it at number 3 is because it's one of the series got made into a video game. Can you guess what that is? Very popular 90s game. I loved it. It's dun 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 James Bond. But it was GoldenEye that put it on the map for me. Now, a lot of Bond shows, they did make some before my time, but the theme song stayed with the elements throughout all of the James Bonds. And that's so great that a main riff can stay in a whole era of series. That is just crazy about the vision that you see. And when you think of this theme song from James Bond, it definitely encapsulates spy, smoothness, cunning, action, adventure. It includes everything that you want in a perfect theme song. GoldenEye was probably one of my favorites because of the video game. Now who's with me? Who played GoldenEye? I remember as a kid, Boys and Girls Club, we would play this as soon as we got to the club till it closed, all day. To me, even though Doom was out before this, GoldenEye set the standard of what a multiplayer was supposed to be about. I don't care what nobody says, GoldenEye paved the way for everything else. Number 2. Now, this was a hard pick between 2 and 1. And I don't necessarily like number 2's theme, but it's the ideas and mindset that I get from it. It was made very popular from just a sound effect sound. 2 simple hits. Are you with me? You getting the clues? 2 simple hits. You probably won't guess it. It's Law and Order, composed by Mike Post. Now, you're probably familiar with those 2 simple hits. I'm not going to say it because in the other video, I think they blocked me too for saying those 2 hits. So I'm not going to say it. But doing some research, those 2 hits, I thought they were sound effects, but they're actually a musical cue. So think about how many times those sound effect hits play in a Law and Order show. And there's tons of Law and Order. Like if we just look at right here, this one Law and Order, 24 seasons. And imagine that with the other Law and Orders that play in syndication. So every time I hear that little 2-hit sound, all I hear is money, 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 money. So that's why I put this at number 2. Like I said, it's definitely not the greatest theme, but this is where you want to be. This is the dream goal in sync licensing. Like when I watch the show, I'm not listening to the music. I'm listening in my head. I'm like, okay, Dennis, okay, all you need is one. All you need is one like this. If you get success, that's all you need is one in your lifetime, and it can change your whole life. So I hope seeing this at number 2 gets you in a different frame of mind that, yes, this might be rare. It's super rare, but it's something you can achieve. And a placement like this will probably be able to take you to full-time sync in no time. And last but not least, my number 1 theme song. Let me give you a clue. It played on HBO. It's drama, tension. You guess it yet? I don't know if you're going to guess this one. Succession. So this is one of a recent one. This ain't from the 90s, but this is a recent show. Not only is the show just amazing, if you haven't watched the session, you should watch it. The theme song is ridiculous, man. The fact that the composer combined hard hip hop, hard hitting bass, 808s, distorted 808s, with a nasty piano melody riff. It just goes on through the whole season. The composer name is Nicholas Britell, and he actually has a video. And this is, to me, producer's gold. When you hear behind the scenes of how someone made something, I don't know about you, but for me, it just lights my heart up because I always want to know, how did they make this great piece of art? So go ahead, find this video on your own. I'm not linking stuff in the description because I want you to do your own research. If you liked one of these theme songs, or if you didn't know one of these theme songs, look it up, because in the sync game, to get ahead, you're going to have to do some research. So can't feed you everything, but watch this video. It's only about 13 minutes long, and he explains how he got the opportunity and what their vision was and how it came to life. And that's what I really love about this being number one. It's such a good, like, this is a no skip. Sometimes I just go to YouTube and listen to the theme to put me in a good mood. And it's an instrumental. It has no words, but I feel like it spoke to me. And watching the show, you almost feel like it's a character in the show. Now, most of the time, music for sync in shows is just there to support, right? To make scenes go along, to keep the action flowing. But this song, I really feel, is not only supports, I feel like it's a character. When you hear that piano melody throughout the season, then you're like, oh. Like, it just you have to watch it to understand. It takes you to a different level of drama with this theme song. That's my list. That's it. Did you already watch part 2 where I did my 11 through 20? So what do you think? Out of this top 10, did I get something that you guessed right? Did you guess some songs right? Did you get them all right? Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite theme song of all time? Now, I know we can't be all time because we don't live forever and we don't know what will come out next. But let me know, what is your all-time favorite? Or tell me, too, if I was tripping on some of these theme songs and there's some I missed out on, because I always want to hear new music. And I love hearing other people's opinions and styles and matters of taste, because there might be something that I've been sleeping on that I've just not heard yet. Take it easy. Peace.